Investment advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Welcome back to Rock My Finances. I'm so glad you're here. This is so fun. We're doing the money manifestation series. This is chapter 11, the 5 money decisions smart women regret. Are you ready for that? Oh, this is going to be so good. So do you consider yourself a smart woman? Have you always done things really well around your money? Right? I mean, a lot of us do. I love that. So you're smart. You figured out a lot in life. You might have a great career. You might have jumped up a million times in your corporation, or every time you've gotten a new career, you've stepped up. Your business has always increased. You've always increased your income or your clientele. Like, it feels pretty good, right? You've probably had a lot of moments where you thought, I knew better. So why did I do that? That decision didn't feel right, didn't make sense. And it might have cost you money. I just did this like a couple times now. I bought new health insurance and I sent the email to the old health insurance to cancel it. It never canceled and I missed it. So I paid an extra month that I needed to pay. Like, what is that? Right? Oh, drives me crazy when I do that. This is not about intelligence. It's about how you make decisions in the moment. And I know that I'm just way too busy and I did not follow up, right? So this looks like saying yes to something that you can't afford maybe, or letting someone influence your decision. Ooh, that's a good one. Do you talk to your friends and neighbors about your finances or relationships or anything? I do a lot. Maybe not asking questions, not asking enough questions, not asking yourself the questions as well, right? It's so easy to point fingers at someone else before we look at what we did wrong. We really need to take a look at what our part is in it, taking responsibility for our own actions, our own words, before we start blaming someone else. Maybe we could be waiting too long to make a decision or to actually do something. Or maybe we're just jumping into it way too fast. So smart women don't lack knowledge. They lack decision-making process. So we're going to change all that today. So you don't need more information necessarily, but you need a better way to make the decisions. Sometimes we get an information overload. And especially when it comes to your finances and money, my goodness, there's so many things you can read and listen to and hear from and talk. You could have 2 or 3 financial advisors. They're all going to give you a different opinion. So I know it can get really crazy. All right. So here's the 5 money decisions that smart women regret, with the answers, of course. So number 1, saying yes too fast. Have you ever done that? It happens, right? You want to be easy. Somebody might put you on the spot. You don't want to have to be the no person. So you just want to say yes too quick. You don't want to create tension and you don't want to feel like you're put on the spot, right? So result, you say yes too quick and you regret it. How can we fix this? Next time, say, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. Simple as that, right? This alone can change your financial life. Mine is, I think about it overnight and I'll let you know tomorrow. I always give a date. Give myself a date, me a date, them a date. So everybody knows I don't make big decisions until the next day because anything can change, right? Number 2, not asking enough questions. This is a good one. So why does this happen? You don't want to seem difficult, maybe. Maybe they're not answering your questions well enough. So you're not understanding them. So you don't want to ask even any more because you don't think you're going to understand them. When actuality, if you asked a deeper question, you might get a different answer. So you assume they know more than you do could be another reason why you don't ask enough questions. And it's embarrassing. Like you're asking questions that you don't know the answers to. So you're kind of admitting that you don't know, right? So it's kind of like, hi, I don't know about this. So can I ask questions? Can I ask a question? It's kind of hard to ask questions in a lot of different settings, right? Now, when I have people come to me and they're looking for a financial advisor, I always have them meet 3 financial advisors. And this is like my criteria for picking a financial advisor. Ask questions. And if you do not understand the answer, that's not your person. You have to understand the answer from your financial advisor, or it doesn't make any sense to have them work with you. Now, I have to say, I've had some women in their 70s, and they're used to men being the know-it-all, right? Like I was just talking to somebody else about this. Men walk in the door with credibility. And this is JJ's words, Jennifer's words. This is my thoughts, right? This is what I've experienced. They already have credibility walking in the door. You just think they know just because of the way we've grown up. So women usually at that age want a male financial advisor because they want a male doctor, they male dentist. They just feel more comfortable with that type of authority. And they, just being a man, they walk in with that type of authority. So we might not want to ask them or question them. It might feel like interrogation to them, or we might think it might feel like interrogation. So we don't ask enough questions. And then we automatically give them trust just because. You might ask one question, maybe 2 questions, and then we think that we trust them when we did not ask enough questions. So we become confused and then we make bad decisions. So how can we fix this? Well, let's ask more questions, right? Confidence comes from understanding, not just guessing. So we want to ask, maybe if you ask one question, take that one question and go deeper on that one subject. So you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, like question 3 or 4 times down on that same exact subject, and don't just bounce all around. So ask them another question about that, another question about that. Sometimes you'll get different answers depending on your questions, right? So your confidence will come out of asking more questions and understanding it more. And most of the time, if we do that, we start to feel comfortable with that. And then it becomes a great dialogue. Number 3, making decisions based on other people. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my gosh, I get this all the time. Well, my neighbor's portfolio does this, or my dad taught me how to do this, or my mom said to do this. Not, my friend's doing this, or my first husband and I did this. It's like, okay, that's other people's decisions. Friends are doing it. Social media says you should do it. Someone else sounds really convincing. Okay, the result is misalignment. It's not aligned with who you are and your decision-making process and how you feel about things right this minute. So how does it fit in your actual life? Well, we want to say, if I do this, what does it look like in my life? So they, okay, friends are doing it. Okay, so they're doing that. Does that feel good for me? Bitcoin, that's a great one. Or, that currency. Do you want that? My friends are doing it. I was in San Diego. I was living in San Diego at the time. And it was right after the pandemic. And I went to this restaurant, really can't remember the name of it, but it was awesome. Rooftop bar, all that. This guy had just, I want to say $3 million in Bitcoin. He was so over the moon. He bought everybody a round of drinks. He was just doing amazing. So what does that tell me? Do I need to be investing in that? Do I need to do that? As a financial advisor at the time, I couldn't really do much of that cryptocurrency. I needed to learn more about it, right? So just because friends are doing it, does that work for you? Would that stress me out watching that go up and down? Because I know there's bull markets and there's bear markets, but the bear lasts 4 years, all this. There's a lot to learn around it. So how does that work for me and my life? So everything that you hear friends and people are doing, how does that look in my life? Okay. Because everybody's different and it's okay for you to be completely different. It is absolutely okay for you to be completely different. Okay. Next question. Number 4, avoiding decisions completely. Oh, that's a good one. Why does this happen? Well, there's a lot of reasons why it happens. We can just get overwhelmed with our schedule. We can be just so in fear about making the wrong decision, right? So we don't make any decisions at all. We're not feeling very free or ready to react right now. And we're missing opportunities when we just avoid all the decisions completely. We're missing a lot. If we're not looking back at our statements, our credit card statements, all of these automatic withdrawals, all these automatic payments that are being paid, there's always a mistake. There's always a mistake somewhere. I always find it. So we have to look at things. We cannot just avoid decisions completely. How do we fix this? There's no perfect decision. There's only informed decisions. And my favorite F word, what feels good at the time. You are who you are right now. It is a combination of your experiences, everything that you've lived through, your thoughts, your beliefs, and who you are right now. Who are you going to be tomorrow is going to be a different person. So you're making the best decision you can make at this moment. Have we all could have done better? Of course. That's okay. That is life. That's what life's all about, is living life. So there's no perfect decision. There's only informed decisions for that moment. Okay. So then we're going to choose and we can adjust and change that later. So how does it fit in my life today? When we're overwhelmed and we're avoiding that decision, we want to sit down, have some space, have our money date, right? We're not feeling ready. It's okay to pause for a moment. You can pause. You just can't avoid it completely forever. So then what does that look like? If I'm overwhelmed, I need to schedule some time in my calendar to have my money date so that I just don't avoid it forever. So if I'm in really big fear of making the wrong decision, I need to go back to step number 2 and ask more questions. So step number 1 was saying yes too fast. Step number 2 is not asking enough questions. Number 3 is making decisions based on what other people are doing. And number 4, just avoiding decisions altogether. So we need to ask more questions so that we can get more clarity and feel more comfortable by making the decisions. Our last one, number 5, deciding in an emotional state. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Again, we're going to go over them again. 5 money decisions smart women regret. Number 1, saying yes too fast. Number 2, not asking enough questions. Number 3, making decisions based on what other people are doing. Number 4, avoiding decisions completely, ostrich, putting our head in the sand. And number 5, deciding in an emotional state. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, why it happens? Because we're stressed out. My goodness, we have so much on our plate. People, places, things. We got so much on our plate. So yes, this is going to bring in our emotions. And money could just be an emotional topic for us all together. Excitement. We could be really excited about something. You ever done that? Oh my gosh, I'm so guilty of that. I've done that so many times. I love this. It could be a dress. It feels so good. I've been wedding dress shopping with my daughter for mother of the bride dress. We've been to a million places. It's been really, really fun. And I'll put a dress on and feel really good in it. Okay, that's it. Then put another dress on. Okay, that's it. And then it's like, okay, wait a minute. None of those are it. And I've done that like probably 20 times. So just being excited to find that one dress and be done and to feel really good in that dress. Pressure. It could be my daughter's done shopping. She's over this. She's like, just pick one already. It could be any pressure from anyone trying to make a decision. And that puts us into an emotional state, right? Especially big purchases like cars, houses. Definitely, it totally triggers our emotional state. I just bought a new car, went through that whole process. I do it like every 10 years. And it literally puts me in an emotion because I love my cars. I've always loved my cars, and I'm a car person. I love cars. And so that does put me into an emotional state because I'm going to have a relationship with this car every day for a long time. I keep my cars forever. And so what is it going to feel like driving this car all the time? Am I going to be able to get it worked on? Is it going to feel good driving up in this car? I don't want some beat up old car, right? I want it to feel good driving up. I always get a white car because I don't want it to look dirty all the time. And I have no time or inclination to be keeping it clean all the time. So I always buy a white car. But all of that goes to my emotional state of who am I in this car when I'm driving this car? How do I feel? Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? I need to be able to get in and out of danger quickly. All this is an emotional state when I'm going to buy a car. So yeah, there's pressure. The salesperson's putting pressure on us. The finance person's putting pressure on us. We can feel a lot of pressure. So how do we fix this? How do we not feel in an emotional state? Okay, it's very simple. I feel emotional right now. I'm not going to make a decision. So now we need to figure out what is emotional. So get that wonderful chart. Check it out on the internet. Emotional state of being, all the emotions. We go up the chart, emotional chart. We need to know how we feel now. We need to be very aware of how we feel now. And if it's coming from emotions, good or bad, we need to be aware of that. And we don't want to make it an emotional state on really high peak excitement or really scarcity or negativity or pressure. We need to make sure that it's just a nice, calm, easy, I call it in the flow decision. I love my in the flows decision. They're so amazing. It's so easy. It's just in the flow and it's easy and it feels good and it's right. And it's not taking too much emotional capacity. It's not taking too much energy. It's just clear, concise, clear, easy destiny decisions. It just feels really, really good. So you might want to give it a day. You might want to give it a night. You want to, as Petalyn, my friend, says, space between the raindrops. We want to find that space before we make that decision. So I did that when I was buying my car. I heard all about it from one person, left, came back the next day, heard all about it from another person. Great. Then talked to the finance person that day, left, went and checked out my insurance, things like that. How would I turn in my other car? Things like that. Then I went back. I think I decide all within a week. But it took me probably maybe 4 or 5 days to decide. And it was it. And I call it almost even a God thing. When I make an easy peasy decision like that, it's a God thing. Like I literally saw that car on Sunday and I drove it home on, I think, Thursday or Friday. Like it was so quick because it was just, that's my car. I knew that was my car. It was the only used one because I like used, and it was the only used one in the area, and it was white, tan interior, exactly what I wanted, big engine like I wanted, sunroof like I wanted. It was just perfect. Everything that I wanted. So when it feels good, do it. You heard it here on Rock My Finances. When it feels good, do it. For sure. I love that. Okay, so the quality of our financial life is directly tied to the quality of our decisions. Yes, ma'am. The quality of our financial life is directly tied to the quality of our decisions. So take your time, ask questions, second opinions. I am such a great financial advisor a lot of times for people because I'm their springboard. I'm just their sounding board. Like they just want to talk about things. They want to hear somebody else's opinion or a different way to come about figuring out how you're making the decision. That's awesome. So a client told me actually one time, I agreed to something financially and I instantly knew it wasn't right. So I asked her, well, what would have happened if you waited 24 hours? Everything would have changed, right? I would have changed. I would have felt completely different. So just ask yourself, what happens if you wait 24 hours? That's it. And before you make any decision, ask yourself, do I feel calm? Do I feel pressured? Do I fully understand what's happening? I do that all the time with people and investing. If you don't fully understand it, we're not making a decision until you completely understand it. And I will talk every day for a month until you completely understand it. Does this align with who I am? We talk a lot about risk tolerance. Does it align with your risk tolerance? Or am I saying yes to avoid discomfort? That's a great one. Am I saying yes to avoid discomfort? If it's not clear, pause, wait 24 hours, calm down, relax. Smart women don't need more advice sometimes. They don't necessarily need more strategies. What they really need is a better system to make decisions. I hope that makes sense. So you're not bad with money. You've just been making decisions too fast under pressure without a process. So once you change that, you're going to change that. You're going to find more clarity, confidence, and control. That's going to be your diamond life. I want you to be able to calm down, see where you're at making these decisions, and get a process for every decision. How does it feel? Does it feel good in my body? Then you can make that decision. I hope that helps y'all. I want you all to be able to listen to these episodes and be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.